So a suspect is in his car. He's got the police following behind him. Sirens on, lights on. They are chasing him. He calls 911 from his cell phone and eventually tells the dispatcher to call off the police. This is an illegal pursuit. And he references Law 1075. It's actually supposed to be 1054. House Bill 1054, but he's close. He's got a majority of the information, but we don't know how it applies. And he's calling 911 to say, get the cops off me. Get the cops up, back them off. This is an illegal pursuit. He says illegal pursuit just a bunch of times. We're going to listen to that recording. It's a little bit tricky to hear, but we're going to do our best. Before we jump on into that, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sean Reynolds. I own a couple of real estate companies, and I read this kind of news. It's what we're doing. So here is that audio clip that Jason Ranch from KTTH picked up.
Hey, I see LPD illegally chasing me over I don't know what.
Okay,
I was leaving my car and they're chasing me.
Okay, are you able to pull over and talk with officers, find out what's going on?
No, it's an illegal pursuit and my license is suspended, and it's an illegal pursuit. It's House Bill 1054. They're not supposed to be able to chase.
Okay. Where are you right now, sir?
Illegal. You can track me on GPS. I have no idea. Yeah, they can do it on the phone. It's illegal. They cannot change. This is an illegal pursuit. This is an illegal pursuit under 1074. Illegal pursuit. Very illegal.
Okay, I understand, sir. Let me see what I can do for you. Are you wanting officers to talk with you, or?
Yeah, it's an illegal chase.
I understand, but what are you wanting?
Yeah, we were just asleep in the car. This is an illegal pursuit.
Okay,
we cannot chase.
What are you wanting me to do for you, sir?
Make sure they stop chasing us.
I'm a very angry person right now.
They're not allowed to chase.
Hi, so we got supervisor on the line.
Yes,
Hello, ma'am.
Officers are not allowed to chase.
We were literally just sleeping in our
Officers
fucking
are
car.
not permitted to chase. We were just sleeping in the car. We're losing them. We're off on the freeway. Let's fuck out of here.
All right. So yeah, that's a crazy recording, right? I mean, the guy is just so adamant. This is an illegal pursuit. And then his psycho girlfriend or whatever is in the car and she's just screaming, we were just sleeping in the car. Well, if you were just sleeping in the car, why did you, take off? And then now you've got a pursuit going. Why did you leave if you were just sleeping in the illegal? You know what I mean? Just always so many questions, so few answers. It's like stupid criminals doing stupid criminal things. Let's jump on in. This is an illegal pursuit. They're not supposed to be able to pursue, a man says on the call. He says that a bunch. An alleged hostage taker told a 911 dispatcher that the officers in hot pursuit were breaking the law, according to a bizarre 911 audio obtained by KTTH Radio. Isaac Sissel, a homeless man, made the call on May 9th after kidnapping his girlfriend and taking her hostage, police said. Police responded after a concerned friend called 911 and tried to pull over Sissel, but he refused. The 911 call indicates, Seattle Police Department is illegally chasing me over I don't know what, Sissel says on the 911 call. Sir, are you able to pull over and talk to the officers? Let's be reasonable. Just pull over and see what you got going. No, the reason this guy isn't pulling over, because he knows that he's got stuff that's going to make him go to jail, right? I mean, whatever he's got going on. He's like, nah, I don't really want to pull over. It's an illegal pursuit. No, it's an illegal pursuit and my license is suspended. This guy right at the beginning of this phone call, right at the beginning of this 911 call, my license is suspended. But, just tell him that it's an illegal pursuit. My license is suspended and have them back off. That's literally what this guy and his girlfriend are saying. and it's an illegal pursuit. They're not supposed to be able to pursue, Sissel says. The call was frantic and at times difficult to understand. But Sissel references Bill 1074. I mean, he's close. 74, 54, we're roughly there. Credit for getting, you get partial credit for that one, right? An apparent erroneous reference to House Bill 1054. House Bill 1054 is a new pursuit policy that bars police from pursuing unless there is reasonable suspicion for DUI or probable cause that a violent crime had occurred. Multiple law enforcement leaders have criticized the bill since it was passed in 2020, saying it may lead to more fleeing drivers. And we've had, I think it was Washington State Patrol said they had 964 people basically flee being pulled over. They just booked it out of there, and State Patrol, under this House bill, they're basically not following chase. So what does House Bill 1054 actually say? It says a peace officer may not engage in a vehicular pursuit unless there's probable cause to believe that a person in the vehicle has committed or is committing a violent offense, sex offense, or an escape offense. All right, that's probable cause. And you've got to have a much higher level of confidence that, hey, this is what's going on than reasonable suspicion or reasonable cause. Reasonable cause is much less. You're just like, what would a reasonable person think? Well, that guy's weaving down the road, so he's probably drunk. Not sure. But that'd be an example of reasonable versus probable, meaning I saw the guy drinking and driving, something a higher level. And if I butchered that, let me know in the comments. But that's kind of roughly, probable is a higher level, reasonable is a lesser level of confidence of what you're pursuing for. Or there is a reasonable suspicion that a person in the vehicle has committed or is committing a driving under the influence offense. So reasonable suspicion for DUI, right? You can't engage in a pursuit unless the pursuit is necessary for the purposes of identifying or apprehending the person, or you can't pursue unless the person poses an imminent threat to the safety of others and safety risks of failing to apprehend or identify the person or considered to be greater than the safety risks associated with the vehicle pursuit under the circumstances. Meaning it's more dangerous to chase the people than to not chase the people. You got to make a judgment call there. Police have to make a judgment call. These are all judgment calls. So this criminal understands there are certain situations in which the police can't chase him. He's just not really sure on which one it is. And he's just hoping, 1074, they can't chase us. No can do on chasing us. Would you, 911, the operator's like, okay, I understand that you think that this is an illegal pursuit. What would you like me to do? And that's where we go. We go back. What do you want me to do for you, sir? The dispatcher asks. Make sure they stop chasing us, Sissel responded. Eventually, Seattle police officers deployed spike strips to end the pursuit and took Sissel into custody. The victim told police that Sissel had threatened her life multiple times, and a police interview indicated long-standing emotional abuse, according to the report. Sissel has a history of fleeing police. According to a police report contained by KTTH, Isaac stated he regularly runs from the police because he knows the police can no longer pursue him due to the House bills. The report reads in part. Sissel is facing multiple charges related to eluding police and domestic violence. All right, so this is a bad guy. He runs from the cops. He's not good to his girlfriend. And yet the girlfriend is in the car. It's illegal. And just, you got people that are just whacked out of their mind, and they've got a small fraction of the facts. But unfortunately, that small fraction of the facts doesn't really allow them to put together the full picture of, maybe I'm not going to get out of this one. So if you're thinking about running from the police, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because whatever charge you might be up for on that, maybe you get out of that, and then you're going to have these other charges of running from the cops. And if you can avoid that, that's probably in your favor. He probably would have gone to jail for some outstanding stuff. Oh, and he's got a suspended license, right? So he knows he's going to get in trouble for that. So he's just hoping upon all hope. It's an illegal pursuit. You can't follow me. You can't chase me. Oh, no, we can. And the police are going to make a judgment call. And here is why we are chasing you. So they ended up having to do spike strips. So they, get ahead of the vehicle and put down a line of spike strips. Guy drives over it, punctures his tires. Yeah. And then they stop him because he can no longer drive his vehicle because he doesn't have any air in his tires, doesn't have any tires. So there's that. So this is an indication. And the reason I wanted to bring up this story is that you've got some state legislature here in Washington State that is just going to run amok in these kind of situations. I mean, police need to be able to do their job. And yet you've got these criminals going, I think I can get away, to the point where, and the thing I found so crazy was the guy calls 911. He literally calls 911. All right. So he's in his car doing the getaway again. This is not the first time. And police reports say he's, eluding police and domestic violence. That's his gig. That's what he does. He's literally in the car, driving, recklessly, I'm sure. He's got the police behind him. And then he calls 911 on the other hand, or speakerphone and whatever, and says, hey, get them to stop. This is illegal, without really knowing the facts. Doesn't care. This is a try-for. And how many more try-fors are there going to be? How many more people are just going to book it out of there? Don't stop. You don't need to. They can't pursue. You want to talk about that creating some bad traffic situations? You got people that are supposed to be pulled over and they're just out doing their thing. Yeah. And we wonder how we get here with House bills like this. You need to clean that up. You need to make it more clear. You've got some crazy stuff going on here in Washington State. And for a large part of a lot of what's going on with policing, it's because we've got legislature that makes it really unclear. All right, what can I do? Or it ratchets down what the police can do so hard that the police are just going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, well, we're going to do a little hands off that one because, the line is so fine. And if you cross that line, whether knowingly or unknowingly, everybody's just looking down the throat of police officers. I was reading a story about how Eric Carr, the police chief in New York City, who took over there, no, he's not police chief. He's the new mayor, former cop, and he's not worried about the number of police that have quit, says it's a great occupation in New York City. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, not after 2020. I don't think anybody's rushing out to be a cop. But New York City's lost a few thousand police officers, but they've also got thousands and thousands on their payroll. I don't know how many they have. They have 15,000. I mean, it's crazy number, but you've got massive population too. And you've got huge areas. You got the 5 boroughs to police, it's a way different situation than here in Seattle, where we're just a much smaller city. But the point is that, all of these cities are having a tough time because crime has spiked up. Yeah, police numbers are down. And then here in Washington State, you've got a situation where we're short on cops, Portland short on cops, and then we're dealing with this kind of stuff on top of it, which is criminals feel emboldened to do whatever the F they want and get away with it, to the point where they call 911 and say, this is an illegal pursuit. I'm pretty sure this is illegal. How did this guy, what kind of conversation did this guy have with his drug buddies or whatever it was? They're sitting around going, I hear the police can't pull you over and keep you pulled over, and they can't pursue you if there's certain things. I mean, I wonder how that conversation went, because obviously just a portion of the information got to this guy's head, which was cops can no longer pursue you, but he doesn't know the circumstances under which they can and can't. And even after having read the House bill, if you're a police officer or you're a criminal being pursued, somebody's going to have to make a judgment call, right? All right, is this guy pursuing me legally? Who knows, right? Because why'd the police pull you over? Well, maybe you should talk to them and figure out, like the 911 caller says. But if you've got a suspended license, nope, I'm just going to book it out of here. Maybe I'll dial up 911, see what they have to say. I'll plead with them to get this guy off my back, and maybe I'll just go off into the sunset. Yeah, right? I mean, it's wild that we're in a situation where people literally think it's okay to outrun the cops. And that's what they're doing. We've had almost 1,000 instances of that here in the state of Washington. 1,000 people booking it out of there. You need to pull over. Oh no, I'm gone. I'm just foot down, pedal down, gone. And the police aren't able to pursue. I mean, that's just not right. That's not right. This House bill needs to get cleaned up. I think we need we've gone too far. We've flat out gone too far. No, here's the matrix for which you can chase people. And then you got some, drugged out moron it's an illegal pursuit. Literally, this is what we're doing here in Washington. And I jokingly laugh, but I mean, this is where we're at, which is people are thinking, well, yeah, the cops can't chase me because of that law. So therefore, why would I pull over? Why would I stop? So I think the confusion surrounding the law makes it even more dangerous than what the original intent was. And here in Washington state, it's so ridiculous. I mean, we've got these legislators that, really think that they're doing some good, solid work, and things are just falling apart. I mean, yeah, you've got police jurisdictions going, what are you guys even doing there? And the answer is, we're not really sure, but we're gonna find out the hard way. And this guy, Sissel, he kind of found out the hard way. Yeah, you still got to pull over for the police. There's a chance that maybe your logic isn't quite where it needs to be. Maybe you've got a little lack of understanding because you're not a lawyer and or a cop. Pull over next time those sirens go. Yeah, just hedge your bets. It's okay. And if you have a suspended license, well, that's what you get. You get a go to jail or whatever it is. Further suspension of your license. Don't drive again. That's what we're doing here in Washington state. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up soon. Talk then. Bye for now.